Hello and welcome to my channel, The Lifestyle Edit. I'm Megan, and today I thought I would share a little get ready with me where I discuss some Galentine's Day ideas, or really they're just ideas for anything that you can do with your friends if you're just trying to make time to see each other. So if you're interested, let's get started. All right, I have you guys zoomed in, and this is a different style video than what I typically do, so I want to just give you a little bit of an idea of what I'm doing before I jump into it. So I am going to get ready, and you're basically getting ready with me, but instead of talking about the products I'm using or the techniques I'm doing or anything of that nature, I'm going to talk to you about something else. That may or may not make sense. If you've seen a Get Ready With Me video, you'll be familiar with that style. If not, then it'll be a little bit different. I want to be able to use the products that are in my collection that maybe I don't use all the time, or that I'm just not using as much, or even if it is something I use every day. But it'll give me a chance to get ready using the products, but then we can talk about something else. It does not have to be, oh, we have to talk about the products or what I'm doing, because I feel like I kind of do the same thing in most of my videos when it comes to that. So unless I'm using a different palette or I'm showing you a different way or a specific way of how to use something, it's really a lot of the same thing. So I'm going to get ready. I have a friend date actually this morning to meet up with a friend for lunch. And I have not put any makeup on. I just showered, washed my hair, and I am embracing my waves. So you may have noticed, you've seen me with my wavy hair a lot more often, and that's just something that I am embracing. And I do like it, and it is easier on me for sure. So one of the things, if you are interested in any of the products that I'm using, or if you're interested in purchasing anything or just seeing what I'm using, I will have everything listed below. And if I do have an affiliate link, I will make sure to provide that as well. So Galentine's Day, or any time that you want to hang out with your girlfriends, I just thought with Galentine's Day coming up that this might be a nice topic. We are all busy, and, we have families, husbands, kids, pets, jobs, and so maybe you are just looking for something different, something that you can do. I know Galentine's Day is on Friday this year, which may or may not work out for you or your friends. So maybe you just want to put something together on another day, and, just have a couple of your friends over. Maybe if you just want that one best friend that you don't get to catch up with very much, and that's who you want to see and do something with. So I thought that we could go over some ideas that you could do if you wanted to stay in, or if you wanted to stay out. I know that, it's February, so it's still very cold in a lot of places. It's been cold for Florida. I won't say that it's been very cold. To me, it's been very cold, but it's definitely been colder and, unusually cold for Florida as long as it's been. So, maybe you don't want to go outside. Maybe it's windy or snowing or, whatever. So you're just looking for something to do that would be easy for everybody. So indoors, of course, throw a charcuterie board together, find a drink that everyone or the majority of the people that you're having enjoy, and, have everyone over for a little, snack. That could be lunch. I don't know about you, but sometimes, because of course I don't cook, my husband does. If he doesn't want to cook and I don't know what else to do, I just throw a charcuterie board together. Just, sliced cheese, some meat, crackers or whatever, olives. We always have olives. But it's just something really easy and simple, and it gives people something to snack on so that they're not hungry, and it's really not a lot of effort. I mean, it can be a little bit depending on what you're putting together and how much effort you put into it. I have not learned how to do you know, the salami roses or anything like that. I just kind of stack everything in rows. So it looks nice if you have OCD, I guess, but it's really not a big deal. So, you know, you can do something like that. Again, have like a signature cocktail. If you know that, you know, everyone likes a particular wine, you could do a sangria. If you all like a specific vodka, you could have, you know, certain vodka drinks. You could do mojitos and maybe add some, you know, watermelon or strawberry to that, you know, to give it a little bit of that pink flavor if you want. It just kind of depends on what you like and what you want to do. There's nothing, you know, there's really no right or wrong to this. It's just whatever feels good, whatever, you know, you think people would like. And honestly, the little bit of effort is really all anybody really wants. So, you know, when you do that, it just kind of shows them that you're, you know, trying and you want to be in the same space together and see each other. So once you kind of figure out if there's anything you want to do, you know, at home in your own space, you know, that's a really good idea. And, you know, there's always, of course, the options for going out. And, you know, you guys can obviously make dinner reservations or drink reservations or, you know, something at one of your favorite places. Maybe you have, you know, a favorite spot that you all like to get drinks from. And there's nothing wrong with that either, if that's what you want to do. It just kind of depends. So there is a lot as well. You know, like I said, I'm meeting my friend for lunch, so we tend to do lunch dates. There's also, you know, coffee dates, if that is something that's a little bit easier for you to do. And I'm trying to think what else. You could go get ice cream. I'm actually doing a Galentine's Day date next week, and I'm excited about that because I haven't seen my friend in a little bit, and we are going to do a coffee and ice cream date. She actually prefers tea, and I like tea as well, but I definitely love my coffee, especially if I'm going somewhere because it's different than the coffee I drink at home. And so we go to a local place that has both, and there just happens to be an ice cream place next door. And so we are going to do, you know, that. And it's, you know, it's during the day, it's in the afternoon, so they shouldn't be super busy, and it'll be a little bit easier to kind of get in and out and just chat and catch up, because, you know, that's really all we're looking for, right? Is just to have that connection with people. And so I'm really looking forward to that. I think that, you know, there's so many different things you can do, and maybe, you know, you guys have an idea. If you want to put it in the link, leave me a comment. What am I trying to say? If you want to leave me a comment, that could be a really good way to help out other people who are looking for ideas on what they can do to hang out with their friends. Or, you know, I mean, sure, it can be as easy as, hey, we're just going to get together and sit around and chit chat and catch up. And, you know, that is a great thing as well. You know, maybe you want to go for a walk. You know, you guys could meet with your coffee or tea or water and go on a walk if it's warm enough, and, you know, you both can tolerate whatever weather it is that you're currently dealing with. It's definitely starting to warm up again, which is nice, and I think this week will be a lot warmer, so it'll be nice to be able to go on walks and take breaks and things like that. You know, I actually had read something online that was talking about going on errands with your friends. You know, we're all so busy. We have so much going on. So what can we do to kind of help with that? Or, you know, to still be present with each other. And one of the ideas was, well, you know, if you are, you know, if you're able, just go run errands with your friend, whether that means you're going to Costco or the grocery store or you're running to get gas. You know, I mean, you can spend however time it takes for that in the car together, talking, catching up. You can also schedule phone calls, you know, just make sure that you're, you know, present for each other and having phone calls together so that, you know, you guys know that you're there for each other. So there are some different things, obviously, that you can do, and just to be present and to remind people that you do care and that you're there for them. And sometimes that's really all anybody needs or wants. So I thought that was kind of an interesting idea. I don't know if I necessarily want to run errands with my friends. I feel like, I don't know, when you know what you're doing and you're just like, you know, I got to get this, I got to get that, you know, I don't know that that's the best thing because you're in focus mode. But maybe if you're trying to slow down, or if it's like, oh, I have 2 hours, we can wander around Target with our Starbucks. You know, I mean, they say people love their Starbucks and wandering around Target. So there you go. Why don't we do it in pairs? So there's always, you know, stuff like that that can be done as well. And if there's anything you guys think of, let me know. If you're in a book club, you know, you guys can get together and read a book, discuss a book, have hors d'oeuvres or a signature drink maybe that is in line with the theme of the book, or maybe from, you know, using ingredients, you know, from the area that the book is takes place in, or something like that. You know, we can get really creative with the things that we do and talk about and see, and, you know, there's definitely nothing wrong with that. Hanging out with our girlfriends is really important, and we really need to remember to do it, and to remember that we are there for each other, because there is a lot going on, and sometimes it's hard because we want that connection, but we feel like we don't have time for it. And making the time, you know, lets other people know that they're still important to us and that they mean a lot to us. And I'm sure it's helpful as well. And it'll help lift your spirits and their spirits. And, you know, I know it's different being an adult, trying to have friends, and if you don't have as much in common, if your lives are different than the other person's, that can be tough sometimes, you know, but we just have to, you know, kind of figure out, hey, what can I do? You know, is there anything I can help with? You know, everyone is in a different season, and sometimes we just have to remind people that that's okay. We're still there for them. We still want to help and be present for them. So it definitely takes a little bit of time to do that, and effort, of course. So, but yeah, so whether you're staying in, you want to have the fire going, have some drinks. And if you don't drink, of course, you've got hot chocolate. You can do Mexican hot chocolate. There's, of course, you can do like a peppermint hot chocolate, like they do, you know, peppermint lattes or peppermint mochas, you know, same concept. So you could do that as hot chocolate instead of coffee. Of course, you could have tea if that's what you prefer, or cold drinks, you know, or you could have a variety. It just kind of depends on, you know, how many people you're going to have and what everybody likes. And I had found, and if I can find it, I'll link it below, but I had found this recipe for this, I think it was a hot chocolate dip, and it called, you know, for graham crackers and strawberries, marshmallows, like you could have whatever you wanted around it, but it was a sweet dip. And I don't remember how you made it, but it was supposed to taste like hot chocolate. And it is really good because I have had it. I just don't know how to make it because I'm not the one who's made it. But yeah, so I hope that you find time to hang out with your girlfriends, maybe go on a Galentine's Day date, whether you can get together for, brunch, lunch, maybe cocktails or something, just to have that connection, I know is important to me, and I'm sure it will, really be important to your girlfriends, and they'll, appreciate having that time, even if it's not actually on or around Galentine's Day, but just something to think about that can be, important and helpful in your relationships. And Valentine's Day, of course, is also around the corner. So I will be doing a get ready with me for that. I don't actually know if I have plans for Valentine's Day. We tend to stay in and, watch a movie, or, depending on the weather, we might go for a walk. We might do something during the day more so on Valentine's Day than we do at night. And with it being on the weekend this year, I don't know if we will be going out because I have a feeling it'll be busy. But you just never know. So I will be talking about in my next video the ideas for staying in or going out for Valentine's Day. And I'll be doing a different makeup look for that. So hopefully you guys will stick around. Hopefully you will enjoy this slightly different style. Again, it is makeup related, and I am, of course, putting makeup on. We're just not talking about it like I normally would, and we will go from there. So make sure you subscribe, give my video a like, please, because it will let me know that you enjoyed it. And, I just want to hopefully remind you all to be kind to yourselves, be kind to each other, and of course, hopefully, I will see you next time. Bye.